Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has broken his silence on his contract situation and told Celtic fans exactly how he feels about staying. We have also got a transfer warning fired directly at Celtic from a Spanish club chief over one of this summer's most talked about targets, a fresh French report naming Celtic as concrete interest in a midfield powerhouse, a Scottish Premiership target who has spoken out about the speculation around his future, and a brilliant story from Daizen Maeda about how he almost quit football entirely as a teenager. Huge morning. Let's get into it. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has spoken publicly for the first time since extending his stay at Celtic, and it is fair to say the 32-year-old is in no mood to waste the opportunity in front of him. The former Liverpool midfielder joined Celtic in February after more than a year without competitive football. Most players in that situation take time to find their feet. Oxlade-Chamberlain did not. He came off the bench on debut and scored a 91st-minute winner against Livingston. He then scored the only goal in a crucial victory over St Mirren during the title run-in. 12 appearances, 2 goals in big moments, and enough quality to convince Martin O'Neill to bring him back for another season. Speaking after triggering the option to extend his short-term deal, Oxlade-Chamberlain said, "Delighted when we could get it done. Kept myself fit, kept plugging away, and hoped that I could get myself back up north for some lovely weather with you lot. I'm just delighted that it's been able to get done and excited to come in at the start of this season to feel like I've got a proper season with the boys and a pre-season. So yeah, looking forward to getting going." On what last season meant to him personally, he added, "I really like the changing room, the lads, the manager, the coach, and staff. I really enjoyed the challenge the whole time, and regardless of how it finished, I really enjoyed being part of that dressing room. It was just a no-brainer for me. Just the fans and how special it was to see that and feel that and be a part of that. I was just delighted and really excited to be able to try and do that for one more year." The big difference this time is that he arrives fit with a full pre-season ahead of him and already knowing exactly what Celtic are about. That combination should make him a far more consistent presence next season than he was able to be in the second half of last year. Now, for the main story, as Real Oviedo have fired a direct transfer warning at Celtic over their reported pursuit of winger Hassan, with the club's new sporting director making their position very clear. David Fernandez was speaking at his first press conference since taking over the sporting director role at the Spanish second-tier side, and when Hassan's name came up, he did not hedge. He said, Hassan is owned by Oviedo. We will have a firm policy for bringing in players and managing departures. That is not the statement of a club preparing to do a quick deal. It is a warning shot. Oviedo are making clear they hold all the cards when it comes to Hassan's future, and they will not be pushed into anything that does not suit them. Hassan is an Egypt international winger who caught the eye at the World Cup this summer. Reports in both Spain and Scotland had claimed Celtic were interested, with some going as far as suggesting a bid had already been made. Fernandez did not confirm or deny that a bid exists, but the tone of his comments was unambiguous. There is an added complication in the background. Villarreal are understood to be owed a percentage of any future transfer fee for Hassan, which could push the real cost of a deal significantly higher than his headline valuation. Celtic would be dealing not just with Oviedo, but effectively with two parties who need to be satisfied. Hassan is direct, quick, and capable of operating across the front line. His profile makes sense for a Celtic side that will need wide options next season with the Champions League qualifiers approaching. But Oviedo's stance means this will not be straightforward, and Celtic will need to decide how serious their interest really is before taking this one any further. In other news, Celtic have been named as one of 3 clubs showing concrete interest in Stade de Reims midfielder Mory Gbane, according to a fresh report from France. Foot Mercato journalist Sébastien Denis broke the story, claiming Celtic are in the race alongside West Ham and Trabzonspor for the 27-year-old. Reims are described as open to a sale if the right offer arrives this summer. Gbane is not a flashy signing. He is a disciplined, physical, defensive midfielder standing at 6'2", comfortable winning the ball and confident under pressure. He joined Reims in February 2025 and has made 49 appearances since, becoming one of the more dependable players in their squad. Before Reims, he spent time with Gil Vicente in Portugal, giving him experience outside France that is worth noting. His valuation is reported at around €4 million, which by the standards of the current market is relatively modest for a player with those physical attributes and that level of experience. The competition is the complication here. West Ham carry the appeal of English football and financial muscle. Trabzonspor are not to be underestimated in their ability to move quickly in the market. Celtic would need to act decisively if they want to get ahead of that competition. O'Neill has already confirmed publicly that midfield is an area where he wants to add depth and quality. Gbane fits the bill as a partner for the more creative players Celtic already have. Whether the club follow up their reported interest with a formal bid remains to be seen, but the timing of this report suggests things are beginning to move. In other news, Josh Mulligan has addressed the transfer speculation surrounding his future and made clear he is not letting the noise around his name affect his focus at Hibernian. Mulligan had a strong season at Easter Road after joining from Dundee. Across 33 appearances in all competitions, he scored 3 goals and provided 5 assists, but his defensive consistency and reading of the game were what really caught attention. Celtic have been tracking him for some time, and West Ham are reported to have already made an initial inquiry. Hibs have him under contract until 2029, which puts them in a strong position. Speaking to the Hibs Observer, Mulligan was composed about the situation. He said, "I went through this when I was at Dundee, so it helps that it's not a new thing I'm going through. I just put it to one side. The only thing I'm thinking about is my next game for Hibs. I think if you start looking too much into it, it can get into your own head. Obviously, any teams that are interested for a reason, but I think you need to show that you're capable of dealing with the speculation as well. As I said, I just block it out and focus on the next game for Hibs." That kind of answer will reassure Celtic's recruitment staff as much as it reassures Hibs. A player who can handle external noise and stay focused is exactly what you want to bring into a demanding environment like Celtic Park. Celtic have been in discussions with Hibs before. Earlier this year, talks over midfielder Miguel Chaiwa reached the stage where a fee of £4 to £5 million was thought sufficient to complete a deal, though nothing came of it. Mulligan represents a different and arguably more pressing target, given his defensive qualities and age profile. Lastly, Daizen Maeda has revealed he almost walked away from football entirely as a teenager, and the story behind how he found his way back to the game is a brilliant one. The Celtic forward became a talking point at the World Cup after Japan's game against Sweden, where he was clocked at 22.1 miles per hour. Only Kylian Mbappe ran faster during the entire tournament. That naturally sparked questions in Japan about whether Maeda had ever considered channeling that speed into athletics instead. Speaking to the Daily Record, Maeda laughed off the Olympic switch suggestion, but was candid about a period when football genuinely was not working out for him. He said, "I have always been into running, and I have been doing it from an early age. I didn't practice at all, I just got better naturally. My stamina is also natural." That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.